welcome to Sci-Fi Vision. Tonight we're going to be talking about Murderbot. Our show's Midnight Murderbot. We're going to be talking about the first two episodes. I'm here with my co-host Scarlet. And by the way, if anybody has any tech issues, please let me know. But you guys should everybody should have audio if we did it right. Then we're doing it even different today than we did earlier. But hopefully it's all going well and everybody has audio. That's my hope. We had some issues earlier, but as usual, make sure that you check out Scarlett's stuff that she does on Julie B. Deep Dive's channel, and please make sure that you subscribe to our channel, Sci-Fi Vision, and check out all our videos on the video tab, our live shows on the live tab. We have shows most days of the week, including tomorrow is our roundup show, and then also the first Murderbot interview with Alex Skarsgård is up as well under videos if you guys want to check that out. So, all right. Well, hello.
Hello.
How are you tonight?
I want to make some truly upsetting music.
Yeah, they did have some crazy stuff there. I have
They're like space hippies.
Yeah, they kind of are like space hippies. That is true. That is true. All right. Sorry, I have like multiple windows. I'm not used to running it the way I'm running it, and I'm like trying to get all my windows aligned so I can see what I'm doing. Oops. There we go. All right. Why do I have to? I still have open stuff from Dead City. I don't need that. Okay. Well, so what did you think of the first two episodes?
Well, they were pretty fun. They're more fun than I thought they were going to be.
Yeah, I think it's a fun show. I think it's a funny show too. I did not expect it to be as much comedy as it's been, but I don't know. I'm enjoying it at any rate.
Until when Murderbot had a fantasy about killing the whole crew, I thought that he actually had killed the crew.
Yeah, I would hope that they didn't that quickly. I'm just gonna tweet about what we're doing real quick. I would hope that they didn't kill the cast that quickly, but yeah, no, I agree.
I thought he was just going to take off. I was like, okay, I'm with you, Murderbot. Whatever you want to do.
Yeah.
I'm gonna get the books too, because the what I've read about the books are really interesting, and I kind of want to compare and contrast with further lives we do on this.
Oh, that'd be cool. Yeah, for anybody who doesn't know, sorry, wait, I gotta turn my volume up. There we go. For anybody who doesn't know, this is based on it's called, I think, the Murderbot Diaries.
Yeah.
By Martha Wells. So yeah, it's like I guess it's a book of novellas.
Yeah.
It's a series of novellas. I'm sorry, it's a smaller or shorter ones. Hold on one second. Everyone, I'm going in Discord here. And that's the other thing I should mention is if you don't, and I'll try to find the comments here. I'm going to post it in the comments. Make sure that if you are not a member yet, that you join our Discord for a schedule of all our watch parties and everything, because we do have watch party for this show right before it. We did it already tonight at 11. So yeah, make sure next time if you missed it that you check out our watch party ahead of time. But all right, well, let's get to it. So let me get my picture up there. So we start off and we're just kind of hearing his inner monologue. And that's the other thing I want to say I did also enjoy about this show is that you get a lot of his inner monologue. I actually think that's the part that's really funny about the show.
Yeah, I think it comes from the books, because the books are like Murderbot Diaries, and you're probably going to get like, constant narration.
Yeah. Well, I was going to say it's harder sometimes with the TV series to do the narration, but I think it really works in this case. Mm-hmm. I enjoyed it. I don't know. It's just not I don't know what I expected, but the show isn't quite what I expected in some way. But so he is at the beginning just kind of like humans suck. That's pretty much what this conversation in his head is that humans suck.
Except for that one guy.
That one guy who gets high all the time. He doesn't suck quite.
Yeah, that one guy was fine.
Yeah, because he's probably because he doesn't tell him to do anything.
Yeah.
But yeah, he is. The whole point is he is controlled. Sorry, by what's called a governor module that is a chip in his, I think it's in his brain implanted, that forces the robots, those androids, to do what they're told. It makes them, it controls them. So he has had this brilliant idea, which actually is pretty smart. It's funny because I've never seen this in a different, in any other show, that he hacks his chip so he can control himself and he doesn't have to follow what people say. And while he's hacking it, because I think actually they burn his hand before he hacks it. I can't remember. It shows the example of the fact that they tell him to hold his hand out, and then that guy there burns it with a blowtorch. It's too bad he couldn't like smack him or something, but unfortunately he couldn't.
So they do feel pain.
Yeah, he can turn the pain up and down. I know that, but he says something about like get the pain on.
So it's kind of like Westworld. You never saw Westworld.
I know. Yeah. I watched Westworld. I was mad they canceled Westworld.
Because they had those like controllers where you could control the pain threshold.
Yeah. He says at one point, like when he's testing himself or something, he says he turned the pain threshold up or something to that effect.
Yeah.
So he can test it. But yeah, they make him touch the flame, but he says, at least in his head, that like whatever would happen to him if he disobeyed the order would be worse. We don't really know what it would do. I don't know whether it would hurt him, blow him up, whatever. But if he disobeyed, he does say they'd melt him down for parts.
Yeah. They look pretty gross.
Yeah, so it's definitely not, hold on one second. It's definitely not something that he wants to have happen. Sorry, I had crap. So he's hacking in the middle while he's talking, or while he's letting them do this, he's hacking the module, and then all of a sudden he's able to hack it and he breaks through it and it's disabled. And then this is where, I think this scene was added because I do not remember this thing about him trying to pick out a name when I saw it the first time. I don't remember that scene. I don't know if I just, for whatever reason, didn't pay enough attention that I missed the scene, but when I watched it the first time on the screeners, I didn't remember seeing it.
Yeah, but how long ago though?
I guess a few weeks ago.
Yeah.
I don't know. I just remember thinking that he got that maybe Murderbot had to do with the flashbacks. That whatever it is that he's seeing. So I don't remember it. That doesn't mean that he didn't come up with that name and I just don't remember it, but I don't. But anyway, so he hacks the module and he's trying to see what to name himself. And he's like, Freedom Unit, Roguebot. No, that sucks. And that's where he comes up with Murderbot. But he's going to keep working at the company because this is where he says like, well, if I let them know that I'm not being controlled, they'll kill me. So even though, which I think is funny because it's like, okay, so he finally hacked the program so he didn't have to listen to the people, but he still has to listen to the people, essentially. And
for a while at least.
Yeah. That's where he thinks about it. But so he gets put on this, well, it first tells us about these people, this group of hippie scientists on this unaligned planet, FreeCommerce. They are wanting to go to a planet.
Yeah, with their handmade clothes.
With their handmade clothes and like they're singing.
And selling music.
Yeah, but they are told that they are not allowed to go. They won't get insured unless they take a separate unit. So they let them see the different models and they choose to take him simply because he's the cheapest.
It's funny because he was like, don't rent me.
Yeah, don't rent me, man. Don't rent me. Yeah, he doesn't want to be, he just wants to watch his soap operas. I did notice, and I mean, this, I don't know, this is something probably everybody notices, but the it seems like the symbol of whatever that is, the I don't know if it's a like orbits of a planet or what, but it's similar to the symbol in the background.
Yeah, it's also on the clothing too, like underneath.
It might just be the symbol for the corporation, I'm guessing. So it probably doesn't have any important meaning other than that. But
yeah, it's a cool design.
Yeah, I was just gonna say it is a cool design now. But so they tell them that they have to take somebody whether they want to or not. And they do finally agree because they want to go. They want to survey this planet. And they pick the cheap robot that's in the background instead of the one that's showing them. Well, I mean, the company wanted to charge them a lot, but the corporation, but they're poor, so they're like, well, we're just gonna and they all did their little huddle and decided together. And
what were they saying in that huddle?
I don't know. I didn't write down the details of what they said, but they had to all agree. She wanted Mensa, the one who's sort of, I call her the head of it. She wanted them all to decide that they wanted to take him. So they did, and so they are going to go on the expedition. And he smartly tells them to stay in the hopper, meaning I guess the spaceship, before they come on, because he's supposed to be doing his, analysis of, is it safe for everybody to be there? And of course they don't, Sorry. And they come rushing in instead of letting him find out if everything's safe, like they should have. So yeah, like him, they don't like to listen to the corporations. Like, I guess it works out together, them fitting there. And he's like talking about their personal hygiene of their filthy body. But yeah, they come in. That's where they're dancing outside. They paint
music.
Yeah, they paint the outside of their habitat. He wasn't too happy about that. He's like, they're painting it
for aesthetic reasons.
For aesthetic reasons, yeah. But they come. He as he watches them, he talks about the different characters. As he talks about, I know we said we won't remember the names. I've got a cast list up here so I can try to.
I wrote them all down on a piece of paper.
Yeah. Well, no, I in my notes, they're listed by their first initial. Pinley, for some reason I can remember their name, is played by Sabrina Wu. That's this person on the left. They're married to Arata, which is her Tatiana Jones, played by. They're married, and he notices that Pinley seems to also be attracted to Rathi, who's played by Akshay Khanna. I don't know if I'm saying that right. I think I got to picture him too. Yeah. So they're kind of attracted to each other, even though they're married. They're all making eyes at each other, which ends up important later, obviously. But for the and he says that the leader, the one who's not the leader, she's like the leader of the group, but I'm not using the right word. And her name is Mensa, and I don't know how to pronounce her name. Noma Dumezweni, played by. She has kids, because there's her kid's picture there on the monitor.
Well, he said like 2 million. She has like 2 million kids.
Yeah, he has like 2 million kids. Really like 6 or something like that. Yeah, and I think his name's pronounced Gurathan.
Gurathan. Yeah, Gurathan.
Gurathan. That's it, Gurathan. They don't say it a whole bunch of times. I just remember Gurathan, played by David.
It was funny because I watched Svengoolie last weekend, and he was on there, like talking to, like singing a Svengoolie song. Svengoolie's like a Chicago horror host.
That's cool. Now I still haven't seen that. I know you were talking about it before.
I think he was promoting The Flash at the time.
Yeah, I don't know. I know he's been in things. I'm just not sure what.
Yeah. Plus, he's been in Dune and all the movies that the guy's done. Dune and Blade Runner 2049.
Okay, I've definitely seen him before. I just didn't know from what. And then the last member of their team, which I don't know if, I do have a picture right there, is, now I know I'm going to butcher her name because I knew that from the beginning when they said it. I wrote down how they pronounced it. Bardwaj. I put Bardwaj. That's not quite exactly what they said, but that's her. Yeah, it sounds easier to say Birdwatch. No, she's the geochemist. And he's basically saying that, like, they don't really need much because they're not normal, like the normal people who would hire him. So while they're doing what they're doing, he's busy looking through the streams of the galaxy, and he's got there it is, the rise and fall of Sanctuary Moon. He likes his space operas that he likes to watch while he's supposed to be watching them, because he's got like a little like I think he has like there's like a little tiny monitor of what they're doing in the corner. He's busy watching his program and completely really ignoring them. Thankfully he's listening a little bit, but not he's an android. He can do more than one thing at a time, right?
Yeah.
And of course the captain, I think people recognize probably most of the people from these soap operas on show there. And the guy that works with him is what's his name? Jack McBrayer.
Yeah.
Yeah, they have great costumes. I kind of wish they had more similar costumes on this show because it's great. And of course, the guy. I just want to say the guy from Avengers.
Clark
That's not
Greggs.
Clark Greggs. Yeah.
Yeah, I know him as from the New Adventures of Christine.
That too. That's a great.
And many other things. Oh, he was in Snowpiercer too.
Oh yeah, he was. Yeah, he was the bad guy at the end. Yeah, towards the end.
Yeah, he's all over the place.
Yeah, he is. But I love his
I love
beard.
it. His are those sideburns? Like some kind of crazy mutton chop thing going on?
Yeah, something. They've definitely got weird hair. And then there's also I don't know if I have her name, but the android they have on their ship, I'm guessing he relates to I'm not sure what they call her, but I don't see a name on the cast list right now. I'm not sure.
Dewanda.
Is that her? I wasn't sure. Dewanda was. Okay, so she's in navigation. Maybe that is her. Okay.
Yeah.
And they're accusing basically the captain of sleeping with her and her being a sex bot, which she says she's not. That's basically what the story is about that he's watching. And meanwhile, they're talking about him down there and saying he wouldn't be so creepy if he didn't just stand there not doing anything, because he's just standing there watching them, which really clearly he's not really paying attention, a whole lot of attention, because he's watching this stuff.
Well, I would just assume that's what a security bot does, is just watches.
That is what he's supposed to do. Hi, Goldchild. Sven Gulli's from Berwyn too. I don't know what that is, but there you go.
Oh, Berwyn, Illinois. Oh, it's by Chicago. He's a Chicago.
I think I said Berlin. I read Berwyn and said Berlin, I think. But yeah. So he notices that there is a threat, and he starts calling them, and they're like, nah, we're busy. They basically ignore him, which I thought was hilarious, which is bad that they're not listening. But he's like, leave the crater. There's an emergency, and they're completely ignoring him. So he goes off and takes off running after them. But clearly he didn't have to try so hard to save them. And I think that's kind of, I mean, this show deals obviously a lot with free will. And, you know, he comes to take care of them, whether he needs to or not. But he runs after them. And they're like, what's going on? There is this humongous thing, which I agree with you. It looks like the sandworms from Dune. But it's this
kind of like a centipede added to it.
Yeah, like a huge centipede, millipede, whatever the hell it is, humongous pede that comes out and tries to eat. Like, you can't really see. That's him there. He gets swallowed so he can kill it from the inside out.
Yeah, because it has like two heads.
Yeah, it has two heads. But it grabs Bard Watch and starts to chew on her. So he gets in it and saves her. And then meanwhile, Arata is completely in shock. You can tell by the look there. And he grabs her, and he does not know what to say. So, because he's got like whole half of his, I think these effects, these, I don't know whether you'd call it costume effect or prop effect, but you know, he's missing half his body. It's done really well. I'm sure they use like
it is done very well,
but it's done cool. But because he doesn't know what to do, the only thing he can think of to do is from the soap operas he watches. So he takes off his helmet, reveals he actually has a face, that he looks human underneath, and he's like, do you have children? Where are you from? Like, starts asking her all these bizarre questions. And she responds, and she comes in, and so able to take care of them both, actually. And they didn't know what was going to happen. And they're concerned later too, because this was not on the map. They're like, why did he not know this? Why did they not know it? It was a danger. It should have been on the map. But they don't know whether it was just, you know, the corporation didn't bother to tell them, or was there something, you know, more worse than that? Is it being hidden? We just don't know. But he doesn't know now what to do, because he's terrified. I don't know how they got blood on the windshield. That attack must have been really close to the ship, you know?
Yeah, I didn't see that before.
No, I did when we were watching it this time. I saw it.
Yeah.
But he starts going in his head because he's afraid they figured out he's hacked his module. And this is where, like you were saying, he knows something. He's worried that they're going to realize something's wrong with him. So he imagines killing them all, because he's like, well, then they can't tell on him. But you find out he is just imagining it.
And I thought that's how the pilot was going to end.
Yeah,
and I'm Murderbot.
Kill them all. That would be interesting, though. Definitely. I mean, they do that. They kill
the next episode.
Yeah, well, maybe it's different cast each episode. I mean, to be fair, they do sometimes kill main characters in the first episode. We know that.
But all of them?
Like Game of Thrones and everything else. But yeah, no, that's not what happened.
So he's like, have the same actors just in different roles, and I'd be like, oh, I'm okay with it.
Yeah, I haven't placed that. There's a show, and I can't think of what it is. Now it's gonna bug me, but there's a show that did that like they killed everybody and they were like the same actors but different characters when they came back. And I don't for the life of me remember what it is, but now you're gonna make me wonder. But he doesn't want to kill them unless he has to. So he was just thinking about it. And when he's coming in, I think this is the part to me that was interesting that you notice. This is like the first time you kind of think about it, at least for me, is that Mensa tells him, she's like, you need medical attention too, because she sees there's a huge hole in the side of him.
Yes.
He's like, oh, I'm fine. And she's like, no, you need to come in. This is what we're doing. So he's like, okay, and realizes that they're not worried about what he thinks they're worried about. So he thinks everything's gonna be okay. So he goes in. And then now Garathan, who, by the way, we didn't mention is partially augmented by tech. That's why he has that little earpiece thing. He's got some Android tech in him, or whatever you want to call him, computer tech. So he's sort of closer to him, I guess, than anybody else would be. Sorry. But he is questioning why he is he thinks he's malfunctioning, because he's like, why would he say these things? Why would he take his helmet off? Why am I echoing? This isn't normal behavior. And they're just happy that the other person is okay, but he is not. He's worried about it. So let's see. Pinley comes in and says that the other one is stable, and they try to, I probably should stay in that picture, and they are deciding what to do, and they're going to wait to launch a beacon, because even if they launch a beacon for help, it's like going to take a week or whatever for the company to get there. So they're going to decide to stick it out a little bit and see what happens. But he's reprinting, he's here reprinting his organic parts, his human parts, I guess you could say, his clone parts, whatever. But his armor is also repairing. But while he's here, he's listening to them. He's like sort of spying on them. I mean, that's his job. It's not really spying. He's supposed to be doing it, but he's listening to them. And it does show him, and I don't know if I took a picture of the rest of it or not, but he kind of looks like a Ken doll. You can see he doesn't even have nipples. Which I think is like the weirdest thing, and I don't know why it's weird, but like it makes him look really weird that they've removed him. But yeah, he's an android. He's being repaired, and she's like, come out with us. And he's like, I don't have a suit. So Mensa tells him to put on the one of the crew uniforms. And at some point, hold on, he must be looking at his show since it's there. But they try to talk to him when he comes out. Sorry, I have somewhere here where he comes out. Okay, there he is. He comes out in the crew uniform. And they're all like, well done. You did a good job. Like, he did his job. And they're all like clapping like he did such a great job. And she wants him to make a speech and thinks, since he kind of has to do everything they say, or they might know something's up, he takes it as an order and he starts making this really awkward speech. And you find out throughout the course of the episode that he really doesn't like looking people in the eyes, I mean, because he's not used to looking at people while he talks to them, let's be honest. So he's not down with that. But he does start to give a really awkward speech, and eventually they stop him. But she basically tells him that, he can, I think she says something like that he can do whatever he wants. He can go back to his room or whatever, wherever he's staying. She says, like, doesn't she say something like that it's his choice if he wants to stay or not? He's like, okay, and then leaves and goes and watches his shows because he's clearly not very social. But their idea is they want to figure out if the maps have been tampered with, or if it's just not showing up because the animals weren't on the maps. They're calling them animals or other creatures. But they want him to check out and see if he can figure out what was going on, if they were tampered with, whatever. Because he just says he wouldn't know until they, told where they were going on the survey. But he takes off to go for the night. And he
I
has
really
a
like those
conversation.
outfits. I like the
What,
outfits that they have with the zippers, with the orange kind of
yeah, it's
peeking
different.
through.
It's not what you usually see. It is pretty different. It is different. It's
Yeah.
cool. So he's meanwhile thinking that he wouldn't trust him either, and they kind of, he's like, thinking about them again, and he notices that like Mensa has panic attacks, which he kind of ignores because he's like, that's not physical, which clearly
it's
it
not
is.
physical threat.
Yeah, it's not a physical threat. She's not really gonna have a heart attack. He doesn't want to get involved in the emotional stuff is basically what it is, because he doesn't want anybody to find out what's going on. And then this is whenever, okay, she's healing. And they come to see her, but wait, there's one where she knocks. Okay, they are meanwhile talking, and then Mensa comes in. I'm not going to leave it on that picture just in case YouTube catches on.
Doesn't like Ken dolls.
Doesn't like Ken doll. Well, it's hard to tell because it's small, but yeah, he looks like a Ken doll. But she comes in. The thing is I find it funny that for somebody who looks at him as human, she said, they don't. I mean, I don't know if she looks at him as human, but she wants them to have rights. Their group disagrees that they should be told what to do because they think it makes them like slaves. But I find it funny that if she feels he's more of a person, or whatever you want to say, that she stands there while he's naked. Doesn't want to look at her clearly, and that's not why. But I would wonder that you wouldn't be like, maybe he's uncomfortable because he's naked. But I guess they probably don't know what nakedness is. So I don't know.
Well, that's kind of like in Westworld, when they had the nakedness, and then one of the characters tries to cover up, I think it's Clementine, and then Sir Anthony Hopkins is like, they don't care if they're naked, they're not human, kind of speech.
Yeah, that is true. But obviously in this one they don't notice that. But he sees flashes, and I'm sorry, I'm getting out. I have a headache. So I'm looking for Excedrin when I'm talking to you. He has, it's here that, hold on, I dropped it, figures. This is why you don't do things on air, and you should turn the camera off. But I never thought about it, but I gave you a graphic. I didn't give me a graphic.
Oh, no.
So I'd have to switch it and everything and stream everything.
Yeah, that's okay.
So. There we go. But he's been seeing flashes of something from his, I don't know, previous life. It looks like maybe he's hurting people. We're not sure. It's not real clear what's going on.
It looked like a slaughter to me.
Yeah, okay. It did look like a slaughter to me too. I didn't know how much you could tell, but it did look like that. And he's wearing.
But you might be right. That might be how he chose his name, because if he's seen that footage before, he might just call himself Murderbot because of that.
That's why I said, and I would have to go back and rewatch the screener. A lot of times they add things and take things away when they decide to air it. I thought it was a completed screener, the first one, but it's possible they added it, and it's also possible I'm just getting too old and I don't remember. And my old age is making me forget clips. But
that's why I thought I could get the books, because maybe the books would have an explanation, a straight out explanation.
Yeah, I don't know if maybe they just wanted to give it an explanation, even so it made sense. Because otherwise,
tie into the title.
Yeah, to tie into the title, because otherwise you don't know why he has that name. I don't know that you necessarily need to know that, but I know when I first watched it, again, did I miss it? I don't know, but I remember thinking like, why was it called that if his name was Sec Unit? And it was a little confusing. So if they did that, I totally get why they did that.
Because Murderbot's more exciting with a title than
Murderbot's more exciting, yeah. But anyway, he's been having these flashes. So is that where he got the name from? We don't know. But he doesn't want anybody to find out what's going on. And I think that's the end of the first episode. They're only 30 minutes.
On with his eyes.
They're pretty. Yeah, I don't know if that was supposed to be a reflection or it's just the computer like working in them.
It's cool looking.
It's cool looking. It's very cool looking. But yeah. So first episode comments before we move on. We don't gotta go quite so much. Adam and Eve. Golden Child says Adam and Eve. They're not human until they recognize good and evil. That's a good point.
Huh.
Yeah, he has to realize what he's done too. Yeah, and I mean, now he has free will. He's choosing to help these people. I guess the biggest question is he choosing to help them only so they don't tell on him, or so he don't get caught, because he really could have killed them and ran off, and like who knows, because he had his ship and everything. He definitely could have, but he chooses to stay and help them.
So is it the fear, or is it the fact that he may like these hippies, space hippies?
I think it's a little bit of both, and it probably changes as the show goes. Thanks much for lunch, or 2 lives in one night. Christmas came early. Yeah, Scarlet. Yep, Scarlet's here too. Yeah, at least this time we're not having tech issues though. Yay! We're gonna have to, for people who don't know what we're talking about. I had my show on Mondays at 9. With Lori of Real Cinema Therapy. We did our Dead City show, but we were not using StreamYard because it was being used, and we were trying to use just OBS, and that's a whole lot of shit without using StreamYard. It did not go so well. But
what happened?
Well, first we didn't have sound, although I do think I know what I did wrong. But we still can't seem to get it out to more than one YouTube at a time, which is an issue. Using it in conjunction with StreamYard, which was what I wanted to do that we did tonight, makes it really nice, because you can use the things for StreamYard while you also use the program to make it pretty. It makes the nice animations and I can do all kinds of things with it. It makes it nice. But yeah, we appreciate our sister show NDB Media that lets us use their network, because that's what we're doing right now. That's why I scheduled it. It wasn't intended to be on here as well tonight, and that's why I always say, if you're watching from NDB Media, make sure that you do follow SciFi Vision to see all our updates. And if you're watching from SciFi Vision, check them out as well. So yeah. So is there anything else before the second episode, or do you want me to move on to the second episode?
I'm pretty good.
Okay. I will go on then. I know our show isn't going to be super long tonight. I have to switch. I'm hoping
that's why I want to get a hold of the books, because I figure we can recap the show and I can read the books and see what the difference is.
Yeah, sorry. See, this is what's bad. I'm used to using StreamYard, and then I forgot, like, oh wait, I got to change this a second. So that stuff you guys are seeing, that's because I have to change the settings, because I'm an idiot and didn't have it set up ahead of time. So just ignore that. This is all. It all just takes some getting used to here. But it has a nice transition in between. I have a place that does overlays that makes really nice overlays stream smell. So
now we got to get some fair use kind of cyberpunk solar punks music.
Yeah, I've been wanting. The thing is I used before a Red Galaxy overlay, because of the Sci-Fi Vision colors and everything. Yeah, and I really loved these cyberpunk ones and wanted a reason to use them. And I thought, Midnight Murderbot works. So so I made that, and I even made a nice little AI logo, which I think works well with this show too, because of the whole Android part of it. All right, so I don't know that I have quite as many pictures for this one, so I might have to.
Well, this seems to be a mix of a little cyberpunk and a lot of solar punk
of the show. Yeah. There we go. All right. Oh, I did, by the way, if people notice, I did get the picture fixed that you can see it now. It was all screwed up earlier.
What picture?
The picture with the screen capture, it was like zoomed in really far earlier, and I couldn't figure out why it wasn't lining up. I got it fixed. It took a while, but I got it fixed.
Yeah.
So while he is waiting for his parts to be grown, and for his parts to be grown, yeah. And oops, why did it start in the middle? Sorry, there's one more. Looks like, no, that's the video. Okay. While he's waiting, they have gone off to check on the different places on the map to see what the unexplored part is, which is really stupid because they don't know what they're doing, and he's like in stasis. He isn't there to help them, but they're doing it anyway.
So they didn't learn from almost being killed the first time.
Yeah, they didn't learn. I don't know. I feel like these pictures are out of order. That should not be the first thing. I don't know. Because that's their conversation they have. So that isn't quite the beginning. I'm missing a couple pictures, I guess.
You could just go through the timeline.
Yeah, well.
Wherever you want.
Yeah, it's harder to do the other way. I don't think I have that many missing. But they're trying. Garathan has them go off together to make a decision what to do, because he doesn't want to have him come with them, because he's afraid that there's something wrong with Sec Unit because of what happened, and that he's spying and all that. And yeah, they go off to check the, see, I don't have, let me see here. Maybe I can bring up I'm going to see if I can bring up the other photo thing here. I don't know if I can or not. We'll find out. I have it up.
Me and Julie did a Severance Live once where we just had the video. We just went down the timeline.
Yeah, I know. That's what I'm trying to see, but it's not. I don't know. I don't know if I have. That's the overlay. I don't know. It's not showing up for some reason. So I guess we're stuck with this till we get to that point. I'm just trying to figure out, because I swear I took pictures of that. I had pictures missing the other time when we did the show, and I kind of wonder if it got screwed up. But at any rate, while they go, Grathan stays behind with him, and he wants him to sit with him. Yeah, see, I don't have any of. We'll just put it on his picture for right. I don't know if I. You know what I'm wondering? I wonder if one of those was a picture from the last week on or something. Because I do have. It looks like I'm looking. It looks like I do have pictures with Grathan. Yeah, because this is the conversation he talks to him. I don't know. I have extra pictures, I guess. But he stays with him. Yeah, and he, like I said, meanwhile, sec units, they left without me. They're stupid idiots. But he wants to talk to him while they're gone, and he starts asking what it's like to be him, and tells him to sit down. First of all, he doesn't like to sit down because they're not usually asked to sit down. See, that's what I said. I have all the pictures. I don't know what the other ones are.
This was one of my favorite parts of the whole episode is when he uses his chair kind of as a swirl chair, but it doesn't swirl, so he just picks it up and moves it around.
And he scoots and it makes a lot of noise. Yeah, that is funny.
That's a lot of David Lynch-like type of action.
Yeah, that's funny.
It's awkward.
It is, but he's awkward to begin with, and he's like, sit down, join me. And he's like, I don't want to. And he questions that he doesn't question that he kind of disobeyed an order, but he does sit down, and he starts asking him what it's like to be him. And he's like, I don't know. I was never anybody else. How would I know that? But he tells him that he has to follow orders, so he wants him to make eye contact with him, which obviously makes him more uncomfortable. But he keeps trying to get excuses to leave, and he makes him talk to him instead. And
it's interesting that they have a human face underneath. Are they supposed to have a human face for that empathy? Is that why?
I don't think I don't know for sure, but I got the opinion. I don't think that the other androids ever take it off.
Oh yeah.
I don't. Okay. So I don't think they normally see them. I could be wrong, but that was the impression I got.
It seems a little extra if you're never going to see it.
It does, but I'm guessing that's how they're made, and then they just cover them up to make them less human or less whatever. I mean, obviously, from a television standpoint, it makes sense so they can show his face.
Because the actor wants to be seen.
Right, but I'm assuming it's in the book too, because I feel like it's also kind of what it's about, him becoming more human. I mean, he's not human.
That's why I want to read the books too, because I'm not sure if they're writing him from a neutral standpoint, but the audiobook is read by a male actor, so they call him a he. That's why I kind of want to look at the books and see what's going on there.
That I don't know, but I mean, like I said, whatever is not human, but I mean, the point of it is he's becoming more human-like. So I think that is easier to achieve, whether the actor, want to show the actor's face or not. I think it works more with that. But he knows that he feels that Grathan is kind of poking around in his head. So he's like, I'll take care of that. And he shows him the video of those two who are, I'll get a picture of the ship there. The ship reminds me of Firefly. It's not, but it reminds me of it.
Yeah.
But they're making an agreement. They're going to have a throuple with, I say his name was Raffi Raf.
Oh, I just thought it was a menage a trois, so it's like full on throuple then.
Yeah. Well, there's 3 of them, I assume. Wait, let me see. Yeah, same thing.
Well, I meant more something more serious than menage a trois, but a binding contract all the same.
Yeah, it's a little more serious. The guy's name's Raffy again. Yeah. So they're saying the one they had before didn't go so well, but they're gonna try again. But he doesn't want to poke it in his head, so he's like, let's give him something he probably don't want to see. It's Murderbot Muncher Luncher. This is the first, the second. Well, we're on the second episode now. We did the first.
It's on Apple TV. And if it's short enough, we could probably catch everybody up next week at a watch party. The episodes are pretty short. Like this one was 24 minutes.
Yeah, we could probably do that or do it another day. I don't know if we could write beforehand just because of Dead City.
Yeah.
But if you guys want to see it and you missed it, let us know. We can always find a time. But yes, it was very short. But he shows him that so that way he won't want to pay attention. And let's see. He is worried that Garathan knows, and I have about he does ask him about what happened before, and he says that he doesn't. I'm not to that yet. He says that he doesn't have memory of what happened, and he tells him that he should try to figure it out. And he says at first he's going to help him, but he kind of tells him not to because he really doesn't want him in his head to begin with. And I don't think he wants to know what happened because I think he knows that something bad happened, is my guess. But he either way, he tells him he should find out. And then suddenly he realizes something is wrong, and this is why they shouldn't have went. Mensa is going up the hill checking out the train because she went off on her own. She got Bard watch to stay behind in the ship in case something went wrong. Because they did I didn't mention they did stick put some kind of not tracker, but something on the computers on the ship that if they heard the same vibration that the bug thing made before, that it would tell them. So she's having a panic attack. He doesn't know yet that there's something there, but he knows she's upset. So he's like, we got to go check it out. I love though how whenever he comes and is working with, she's too stubborn to go back, he realizes. But I love how whenever he realizes that they're together doing this, that she's like, oh, teamwork, in the middle of her being upset. He's like, oh, that's so great. But they're like, come back. And they see the vibration or whatever, hear the vibration, know that it's coming. And they're like, get the hell out of there. And, she can't in time. But they see that it's coming, the worm thingy. And then it goes right over top of her. That thing, I think he calls it a tooth monster or something, doesn't he, at one point? I forget exactly.
No, it has a lot of teeth.
It says something about their teeth. But I guess when I was a little confused by this, I guess it went there and died. There was a whole bunch of bodies of them all around whatever that is in the ground, which they think is maybe aliens, but which not that thing isn't an alien, to be fair. But I guess it went there to die, the vibration pulled it there or something.
Oh, like an elephant graveyard or something?
Maybe, but I mean, I don't know. They didn't actually show it died, but it's among all the other dead. So I kind of assumed that was the point. And it blows up their probe, their little robot thing.
Drone.
Yeah. There's a better.
I like this. This is almost like a painting. It's really cool looking.
It does. Well, it's probably a matte painting, but yeah, it does look good. But let's see. They didn't show if it died. Like I said, I think that it did. But he's like, I'm gonna go. I did skip one thing by accident. I did want to mention. I like the line whenever he knows she's there and she's freaking out, and he's like, I'm gonna go check the perimeter with your permission, because that guy didn't want to do it. And he's like, yes, go. But he should have came. He should have insisted it. But let's see. So they think that maybe it is alien remnants that could have caused it. I don't know why they think it's something under the train. I don't quite understand the, I guess, science behind why that means it's alien remnants, but that was what they came to the conclusion of. And whoa, I lost my, sorry.
Alien relics.
Yeah, alien relics. And they say that if that is the case and they find out, they would have to stop serving. Like that's the law. Although Garatha makes a point of saying that not everybody would. They'd try to get the money, but that they would have to stop or should be supposed to stop. And they know that there was another survey team around, so they're going to call them. But before that, I have pictures of it. I didn't realize. When Mensa comes in, he's like trying to talk to her, and she's like, "I'm going to take a shower." Do you find? I think sometimes I find him a little creepy at the beginning of this. Like he's hanging on her a little too much.
I just feel he's just awkward. He doesn't really understand social cues.
Awkward. That's fair. That's fair.
Can you go back one? I wanted to know what was on these shower curtains because they had like different icons on them.
It looks like it's in another language, like an alien language. I don't think it's another language.
But there are like different showers for different things. Like if you had a chemical problem, you took this shower. If you touched the alien relic, you took that shower.
Oh, maybe. No, yeah, I don't know. It looked like it was I think it's in another language, so I'm not sure. Yeah. In a fake language. I mean, it looks like alien. But yeah, he's a little. She's like, I'm taking a shower. But that set is awesome. It reminds me.
Oh yeah, it definitely is.
I'd love to be there and see all that. That's so
it kind of reminds me of God, what was that show? It wasn't The Expanse. It was this other one where there was the guy from the one guy from The Expanse on it, but they were growing like all these different things inside, including honeycombs. And the one guy was eating a honeycomb really menacingly, and I can't remember what the name of the show is.
That I don't know. It reminds me.
If anybody watching this remembers like the one guy eating a honeycomb really menacingly and can tell me what that is. Oh, Night Flyers.
Oh, that was that short mini series. I like that show.
Yeah, but they had this kind of similar growing areas.
Yeah, I don't remember the honeycomb though. That part I don't remember.
Oh, it freaked me out. It was disturbing. Me and my boyfriend still reference it.
It's been a while since I've seen it. But
you see the actor in something where like, is he eating a honeycomb innocently?
I wish that they would do more bonus content for things. You reminded me when you said that, because on Night Flyers they had which is surprising because it was Sci-Fi Channel, but there was a I don't know what you want to call it. It was like a bonus thing. It was on VR because I remember I can't use them though now because they make me dizzy. I haven't used them in a long time, but I had the original Oculus glasses. But I get migraines and they make me dizzy. But I remember watching them and they had I forget what it was. It was like a little short or something that you got to watch in VR. It was pretty cool.
Oh yeah.
That they had that. Yeah. But I didn't realize, I know you don't know to tell me, but that thing's been highlighted with that weird green box the whole time. I didn't even know that. It's because I clicked on it and didn't click
the green box.
Sorry. It's gone now. I clicked on it and I didn't realize it was still highlighted. It just looked funny. It was to move it around.
Oh, I didn't see it on my end.
Yeah, well, I don't know. I assumed you could. Maybe you can't. Oh, okay. I'm still looking in OBS. Maybe you can't. But a lot of times what I do, you can see. But anyway, I was going to say, it actually reminds me of Defiance because they had a tree in the middle of their bar, it's supposed to be a real live tree, and it had alien lights coming down from the tree. Sometime I want to talk about that. Because I went to that set, and so did Karen. It was so awesome. That's why it reminds me of it. I like Defiance.
Talk about different plant lives and different sci-fi shows.
Yeah, they had a lot of, but there was it was amazing to see in real life because it was like a life-size tree. I mean, it wasn't real, but it was a life-size tree in the middle of the room, and it was had a bar around it, and the whole bar was it was a really cool set to get to experience. Because it's funny. I don't know if people care and even want to know, but it was funny because sometimes when you're waiting to do interviews and stuff, you have to hang around for the day because you talk to the actors when the actors are ready. And me and Karen, we were waiting. We waited, I think, for a couple hours. We were just sitting at the bar there waiting. It was enjoyable, but it was just kind of funny because we had to sit there and wait. And I walked around and took a bunch of pictures because that's me.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, it was a really cool set.
I mean, it's cool if you walked into this and you just sat at the table and I don't know what these orange bars are on the table. Maybe that's space food. Maybe that's something else. Some salad.
Yeah, I don't know. That sometimes it's cool when you get to see all the like the little details of stuff, like you're talking about, like the food and all that kind of thing. Yeah, I need to
Well,
pull
the
out my.
chairs are interesting too. These stools are sitting on are interesting.
Yeah, they've got definitely sci-fi futuristic furniture. It's pretty damn cool. So yeah, that's cool. I do like that set design a lot, but I like when they add like the vegetation and stuff.
Yeah, yeah.
But
So there's some
anyway,
mushrooms or something growing in here.
yeah. Well, they're in space, or not in space. They're on an alien planet. They probably can't eat their plant life, so they have to like grow their own stuff.
I'm sure those are
But
magic mushrooms.
yeah, maybe they might be. They might be. They look like oranges or something, or tangerines. I don't know. But anyway, so they're having this discussion that there might be another. There's supposed to be another group there that was on the planet doing surveys, and they're like, we should contact them and find out what they know. Those do look like food, kind of. So, and I think you kind of wonder, that's probably not gonna go well. But he's looking, I think he's seeing what they're seeing, I guess.
I wonder what that thing was on their table. They had this brown thing that looked like origami.
It looked like Oregon. What?
Origami. Sitting on the table.
It does, yeah. And it kind of looks like a weird plant or something. I don't know.
I don't know what that is.
No idea. No clue. Kind of looks like it almost kind of looks like a model of that worm a little bit, doesn't it?
Oh, maybe.
Yeah, I don't know. I could like look at the details of the set and talk about set design for a while. That's always fun. But anyway, yeah, we could. You'd have to go through and take pictures of everything, but it's fun to look at more photos. You get like higher resolution stuff. But they go on the video to look at that place, and then we see that everybody in that place,
they're having a good time over here.
That unit, they're dead, including the sec units. You can see it's destroyed.
They're not having fun. They're not having a good time.
Now they can't see this. They just know they're not responding. They have no clue what's going on. But they're going to go.
But they don't have the good enough judgment not to go there.
Yeah, I know. They don't answer.
We almost got killed twice. What's the third time? Let's go.
Yeah, you would think maybe you'd know a little bit better than to go there. I'm going to see why I'm talking to you. I'm looking to see if I have any. I did download some of the press photos to use when I made the when I made the YouTube thumbnail. I was going to see if they had any that were of the set. I think they had quite a few of the soap opera. Like I didn't take a whole lot of the soap opera because I thought it was kind of like we didn't really have a lot to talk about that we necessarily needed to go through it, but they had some of that too. But yeah, I think it's a good show. I really enjoyed this show. Like I said, it wasn't what I expected, but I'm not sure what it was I did expect. But I did enjoy it at any rate. I thought it was an interesting show. Apple, they have. They had really good with Severance. Yeah,
I think the studio is pretty good. I know you don't like comedies, but I say the studio is pretty good.
Yeah, no, I like, sometimes I do. It just depends. I don't tend to gravitate towards them, but yeah, I really enjoyed this. I think it's an interesting, different type. Well, it's also sci-fi though. That helps too. Clearly, I'm a sci-fi fan, so that helps. But yeah, there's. I want to say, is there 6 episodes? I think there's 6.
I thought there was 8, but maybe there's 6.
I'm saying that, and I'm saying it from memory. Hold on, I can tell you really quick.
I just told somebody 8 to 10 episodes, so I was just gonna say.
I can tell you in like 2 seconds if you wait a second. I might have to log into this to find out, but I can tell you in a second. I want to say there's 6, I think. Let's see. There is no, I am wrong. I don't know where I got 6 from. There's 10. So
there's 10.
Right. 10. Yeah, it runs through
10 was correct.
Runs through July 11th. And the next episode, because we're only getting 1 episode a week after this, the next episode is called Risk Assessment. So that's in 3 days. Yeah. But
we got a request to make longer live streams, so you could talk about Defiance. I've never even heard of Defiance. Apparently, Golden Child really likes Defiance.
Yeah. I mean, we can talk about that. I don't know if you want to talk about Defiance, but
yeah, we can.
Yeah. No, I just okay. So I'll talk a little bit about it, and if
Okay.
people don't want to listen, they don't have to. But so they used to have a press tour that they did for digital press. They don't do that now so much. I mean, they have mixed press tours, and sometimes digital press gets invited, but they're generally bigger sites than I am. More important people that are bigger than I am. But SciFi Channel, also because we're a sci-fi network, obviously we do sci-fi, a lot of sci-fi because it's Sci-Fi Vision. Yeah, so Sci-Fi Vision. Yeah, we would get invited to the Sci-Fi Channel stuff that they did, and because of that, I've been to different. They did a lot too of press that they did at Universal when we went to the Universal Park and went to Harry Potter. That's why I talk about that. I got to go to to me, that was cool because I was a big Harry Potter fan. I liked going to the park and getting getting to go see it when it was open, when it wasn't open for everybody else. But yeah, so we used to go there to do press to cover it, and there was various different set visits that they did, and you can see this stuff if you go to scifivision.com. If you go to the old articles, there are I don't know if the search is working, but there is old articles with the pictures and stuff. Because
when did it come out? When did Defiance come out?
Defiance was let me look. I can tell you because I'm not sure offhand. Let me see. According to Internet Movie Database, it was 2013.
Okay.
It wasn't. It was. Well, that actually is a while ago, isn't it? That's like 12 years ago.
But how many seasons?
3, I believe. I think there was a third season. There was like a short third season, I think.
It has been long seasons or short ones?
I think this was before things were really short, so they were kind of in between. It looks like the last season was 13, season 3. How many was season 2? Yeah, they were 13 episodes a season. But anyway, we went to different ones, did Warehouse 13, Being Human, Helix, and all those are up there. But yeah, Defiance, it takes place in it, like they've kind of, I don't want to say colonized, but the aliens, some of them are living among the humans and everything. And they have a town where they have like a market and a butcher. And it just like the whole town was physically created, was part of a set. And we actually got to go in and walk around the set. And I always loved that design of the bar. It was like a lounge / bar. And it was just like velvets. And it was supposed to be also like a lot of like found stuff, like stuff from the old world was kind of put into the design and stuff, but it was also futuristic. It was just really cool. And they had like a humongous, I'll have to find the pictures of it, but this tree, and it had like these alien like bulbs coming down from it that were like lights, and it was at the bar. And it just the whole room was huge. It was just a really cool set. And like I said, it was all practical. It was really there. So it was neat to get to travel and walk around the town and see everything. But yeah, if you guys want to hear about that stuff, sometime I can make a show and talk about all the different sets that we've been to, because I've been to quite a few over the years. I mean, most of them were Sci-Fi Channel. They weren't all Sci-Fi Channel. Like I went to Midnight Texas actually twice in Albuquerque. That was NBC. It was still Universal, but yeah, I always enjoy that stuff. Even before I've done that, I like stuff. That's why a lot of times I talk about I wish they do behind the scenes on how they make the sets of Last of Us and all that. I like that kind of stuff. I just always have, even before I started doing this. I enjoy knowing how they make things and how all that goes on. I always have. So I like the designs and all that. So it's
you should get a bunch of photos and we could have a live where you talk about the different sets.
Yeah, I could definitely do that if
that'd be really cool.
Dig them out, but it's kind of hard to talk about without having a picture to show. They're somewhere, but I'd have to look it up. But yeah,
I'll have to look up the show. I've never heard of the show before.
Yeah, it's I say I can read you the official description since I have.
What was it on? Was it on SciFi?
Yes, it was on SciFi. Yeah.
Okay.
Wait, hold on. I'm trying to back up here so I can see the main page. It's not letting me. But yeah, because we had covered Fan Expo that year, we went back to because I had gone to the press tour, and then Karen and I went back to that set in Warehouse 13 because it was the last season of Warehouse 13. And so
I like Warehouse 13.
Warehouse 13 is awesome. We've had, I wish I could get them now. We'd had a lot of the cast we've had on our show before, when our podcast was just a podcast and it was all audio. We had
You ever talk to CCH founder?
No, actually, she's one of the people I have not. I did on like a conference call, but not in person.
Yeah.
I've never met her in person because she wasn't on the show at the time we went. She had been gone by that time. It just is a near future after the arrival of different alien life forms on Earth. Actually, even on Air Movie Database on the little clip show, and it shows some of the behind the scenes. But yeah, it was a whole town.
Yeah, I wish that like Yellowjackets would show other deleted scenes and stuff, like a DVD set.
Yeah, I love watching extended stuff. That's why I was saying the other day, you didn't hear this because you weren't on the show, but they have, for Last of Us, they have these podcasts for Troy Baker, the one who played him in the game, talking to the producers, and they talk a lot of the about how they did some of the stuff and why they did some of the stuff. And I keep wanting to sit down and listen to them all, but I just have not had time. But that's definitely something I want to sit down and do because I really enjoy those things. I'm the bonus feature person. I hate that when you buy DVDs anymore. It's why I don't usually buy DVDs anymore. They used to like include hours and hours of bonus features, and they just don't do it anymore.
Now it's just kind of more on demand printing.
Yeah, but so they don't have really usually any bonus.
Or some of them will, like Yellowjackets did have some on their first season. Like a lot of the first seasons of shows get really good DVD sets, and then after that they don't. Like Legion, the show Legion had a really good first season DVD.
That's cool. I haven't really, when it comes to TV shows, I haven't really bought a lot of DVDs in a long time.
Yeah.
I mean, I've bought like Doctor Who, and I got Last of Us. Although I ended up reviewing Last of Us, I got sent it.
I bought Duckman, the complete series, and Penny Dreadful.
I have not. I think I saw like the first Penny Dreadful, and then I never finished watching it. I never got to see it all. There's a lot of things I see the beginning of, and then I don't see the end of because I run out of time.
Yeah.
Because there's so much. I think sometimes people don't realize, and it's not a bad thing. It's the way it is because I cover so much stuff. I have to watch a lot of TV, and watching TV is fun, but there's only so many hours in a day, and sometimes I have other things to do. So sometimes I'll watch the beginning of something, and then I never.
Or you could be poor like me, and then when I went over to hang out with my dad, he had Showtime, so I watched Penny Dreadful because it was on Showtime. I watched Twin Peaks: Return because it was on Showtime, and I watched Yellowjackets because it was on Showtime. Because that's what I had.
I don't have Showtime right now. I got it for Yellowjackets. I don't currently have it. I'll have to get it back. But eventually, because I want to see the rest of the stuff. But there's
I got Paramount Plus. That's because I like to support shows that have a lot of strong female leads.
That's cool. Yeah, I have Paramount Plus. I just don't have Showtime.
And plus From. I just want to make sure From gets a lot of seasons.
MGM Plus. They're all good stuff. There's everything on everything. Speaking of, we should mention, and I don't think it matters. We're both doing it. It's just I didn't realize we were, but I know our sister network is going to be doing it. But we are going to start. Is it this Thursday or next Thursday?
Next Thursday. We're going to do some Yellowjackets this Thursday, hopefully.
Yeah, this Thursday we're going to have another Yellowjackets special, which will be at 11 p.m. Eastern on this network. Which we're assuming. I think I could figure out that tier thing. We'll figure it out.
We're just going to have a season 3 wrap up. Perhaps judge things of a tier.
If I can get the tier website to work, and you're moving things around, I should be able to do a screen share and do that.
If not, we may just judge it without. Or if you're in the chat, you can judge it.
Yeah, you can let us know what you think about it. But we'll be doing Yellowjacket special. But starting next Thursday, we're going to be doing the Librarians. And like I said, I didn't realize NDB Media is doing that as well. But we were already planning to do it, so we're still going to do it. I actually, I have an interview tomorrow with the showrunner Dean, and I'm hoping I would love to get some of them on our show. But I know I tend to everybody's used to me doing the junket interviews, so sometimes it's harder to get them to come on the live streams. But I will have soon an interview with the cast and Dean Devlin that'll be at least up there, and we'll see if we can. Maybe it'd be nice to get some people. We'll definitely try. Nevers was great. Nevers was
Nevers was had a sad end because they just showed it on like a 10 of television.
Yeah, well, yeah, but Nevers was supposed to come back and then it was canceled, right? That was like what
No,
happened.
it had a season 2. It was like held, like passed around from thing to thing because nobody wanted to touch it, probably because somebody was involved with it. And then what they ended up doing was showing it on like a 10 of TV or something, like in real time. It wasn't something I could even record on my DVD-R. It was like actual antenna television, kind of like your MeTVs or your like, what have you.
Yeah, I don't know. See, I remember hearing it was canceled. I don't remember where I stopped watching it. I watched whatever was on HBO, and then it wasn't
Oh,
on
it
anymore.
had a season 2. I don't know if I'll ever see the season 2. That's why I was scared with Snowpiercer, and somebody
Was
eventually
season
picked
2
it
on
up. And
HBO
like
or was it on?
Novelist,
Yeah, was
maybe I
season 2
can look
HBO
around
or
and
was it?
see. Sorry.
No, I just said was season 2 HBO or was it somewhere else too?
It got dropped by HBO, and then it was picked up by like God, like Tubi. That's who showed it, like a Tubi television, but it was
I'm
like
gonna
a
have to
10 of
find that
television.
because I really wanted to see it. I enjoyed
Well,
that
I'll
show.
look, see. I can look through a couple of links and stuff and see if it's actually listed as something you can watch.
Yeah,
Because
let
I've
me
been
know.
looking for that for a while.
Oh, then I probably can't find it. Yeah, I would have liked to have seen the end of it. I enjoyed
Because I
that
really
show.
like that show.
Yeah, it was good. There isn't many steampunk shows. The only other
Yeah.
steampunk show I can think of outright is Reese, which was a mini series.
Mm.
Speaking of, I wish things happened now like they used to. I know my watch is doing something weird.
Well,
It's a big.
there's a lot of short films. I've done like steampunk film festivals at steampunk cons, and
I don't know.
a lot of
I
cool
don't.
short films. A lot of cool things are on YouTube, like the steampunk Ghostbusters. They
Oh,
have
that's
like
a,
a
uh,
they have
yeah.
that. They have this. A lot of people put their stuff on YouTube or Vimeo just so it's like free
That's
use, so
cool.
people actually see it.
I'll have to look. But this was an official sci-fi miniseries, Reese, and I think I've shared
Yeah.
this story before on this show. I think I said this before, but I wish people were able to do things like this now, but things are too popular; they just don't do it. But we
Yeah.
covered it every week, Karen and AJ and I, on our weekly show. And like I said,
Mhm.
this was all audio. We didn't have video like you do now. This was when we had a
Yeah.
regular podcast. Although at the time, I think we were still called Fandom Access. I don't know, but anyway, we were reviewing it and we took call-ins like we do normally on StreamYard, but it was through the phone. And we got a call, didn't even know anybody was calling, and the showrunners called us and just joined the show in the middle of it randomly. They're like
That's cool.
so happy that we were talking about it, and that was really cool. I will always remember that experience because it's like, what? Like, you don't expect somebody important to call
Mhm.
your show unless it's scheduled. But yeah, they called in and they just because they were, I guess, liked we were talking about it. I don't know if anybody else had a show at the time about it, but
How's it spelled? Reese, like REESE?
Riese. Yeah, it was like a mini series
Yes.
kind of, or like a web series kind of. It was on
Yeah.
SciFi. It was a while ago. Yeah, it was by the people that made Sanctuary, I think, which was also a good sci-fi show. I love most of the stuff that's been on Sci-Fi Channel over the years.
Mhm.
They don't have enough science fiction anymore.
See, I have a lot of indie like film experience because they have like those HP Lovecraft film festivals each year, and you
I've
get
never been
DVDs
to
of those. And
I don't.
there's
I'll
a
have to
lot
check
of
out.
a lot of people that just say, I'm just gonna go out and make, I have a $5 budget and I'm gonna make a pretty good short film
That's
using
cool.
bare
Check
bones.
some of that out.
But I can make a list of other steampunk stuff too. I know a lot of films. It's like
Okay.
TV's a little harder.
Yeah. Muncher Luncher is asking, is it true Frum's in production? I don't know if they started filming yet. I mean, they definitely have been renewed for season 4. I don't know if it's in production. Like, I'm assuming I would say it's, and when you say production, do you mean production like they're working on scripts, or production like filming? Because I highly doubt it's being filmed yet because they have to write all the scripts. But is it in production right now? I don't know. For sure. I don't want to say yes because I really don't know, but it's coming. I can tell you that much. We know it's been officially renewed. So at least we know that, but it's going to be a while till it gets here. But I miss From. We're gonna have to later at some point. We gotta pick up and do some more From episodes, just like how we're doing Yellowjackets. It's nice to kind of get back to it. And
yeah, they're taking their sweet time announcing season For Yellowjackets.
Yes, hoping. And I still was hoping that one person was coming on our show. They were supposed to, and then they didn't get back to me again. That tends to happen. Sharknado. Golden Child's asking about Sharknado. I love the Sharknadoes. They were awesome. That was like an experience you had to be part of, because what I loved about Sharknado, not necessarily the movies, but what I loved was the interaction, like on Twitter and that. Like that was when it was a huge, like, you watched live, you interacted live, they put your tweets on the screen of the movie and stuff, like, so it would go across. So I tweeted a lot. I missed it. I was upset because I found out after the fact, because I wasn't from near there and I couldn't afford to fly anyway. But with some of the other digital press that I knew, they had, I think it was for the third movie, I want to say, they invited some people down that were, I think they were more local. Like I said, I couldn't have afforded to fly down again anyway, but they had them as like extras, because I know the one journalist I know was ended up in it. They flew him down to be a part of it, or didn't fly him down. The people flew down, I mean, and were like extras in the movie. It was like in a crowd scene or something. But yeah, I enjoyed Sharknado. But like I said, I liked the audience interaction of it. That was one of the times, like, I went on, you went on live and you tweeted live, and that was part of what made it fun. And it was all camp and everything else. I enjoyed that kind of campiness. A lot of the Asylum films, but especially Sharknadoes. Those were good. If you haven't seen them, it's something
you didn't
good
take
to
that
watch.
seriously?
Yeah, no, I mean, you can't take it seriously. It's
I'm worried about Sharknadoes.
No, it's total camp, but it's, as long as you know it's camp and you're watching it as camp, it's enjoyable, I think. But it's kind of like, some people like it, some people don't.
People take it seriously. They're like, I don't believe this could happen.
The first movie was more like they played it straight, and it was a low budget. Where after that, they completely went full on camp.
It sounds like Final Destination, the whole series. Like the first film was pretty serious.
Yeah,
like very dramatic, and it had an alternate ending and everything where she was pregnant and she was able to live because she had a kid. But
this is very, very camp.
Yeah, then it went totally camp. I have like a DVD of the third Final Destination that's like a choose your own adventure.
Oh, that's cool. Now that I didn't. I thought I'd seen most of the Final Destinations, but I don't remember there being a.
You can choose a path where they all live, and it's only a 5-minute movie, and then they run the credits because they all live.
That's funny. But yeah, Sharknado, and the thing is Sharknado became like a thing where like every actor and their cousin wanted to be in the movie. And it's like full of cameos. Like the one movie is like, it's total, like all through the whole movie, it's just cameos of people. It's just funny. But
they just get eaten by sharks.
Yeah, a lot of them do get eaten by sharks. I'm trying to think of, there's like, you see that, like, I'm thinking who all's in it. Carrot Top's in it.
Oh yeah,
the guy from that invention show that I can't for the life of me think of the name of, and I know his name, and I'm like blanking out on it right now.
Invention show.
I'm
not Adam Savage.
No, I can't. No, not. I love that show, but no, not MythBusters.
Yeah, because he has stuff on YouTube too. Like
no, the one where people. I'm sorry, guys. Sometimes my memory's shit. The one where people come on the show. It's like a like competition. Like people come on and they like say it's a good
Shark Tank.
Shark Tank. Yes, Shark Tank. That makes sense with Shark Tank. Yeah, he was in it. The one guy from Shark Tank. There's a lot of people.
I've been showing my cat different videos, and I've been showing them like videos of birds and stuff. And there was one of an aquarium that had a Shark Tank. And then when I told my boyfriend about it, he was like, "So you're showing the show Shark Tank where people are getting grants to make inventions?" And I'm like, "No, an actual Shark Tank." The cat doesn't enjoy,
Oh, the cat enjoys the sharks. Okay.
Yeah, that one guy, Mark Cuban.
That's who I meant.
Big fan. Is that the guy you're talking about?
Yes, that's the guy I was talking about. His name Mark Cuban. Yeah, he was in the one movie. But yeah, that was like appointment TV because you wanted to be a part of it. And I just remember like when you tweeted it, like they put them on the screen, like live too, like in the not part of the movie, but you know what I mean, across the screen in the movie. Yeah. It rained sharks. You're right. It did a lot with sharks. It had a lot of Sharknadoes in it. But yeah, that was a really fun thing. They don't really, that was Asylum. I don't know if, I mean, I'm sure they're still making movies.
Well, they had a shark in a cornfield or whatever that was. That crazy movie.
Yeah, I don't know about that one. I just remember Sharknado.
Because I remember just looking through things, and there was like, I guess that's a mix of Sharknado and Children of the Corn.
Maybe because I don't remember part of that from Sharknado, but it's been forever since I've seen it. But yeah, there's a lot of good stuff on Sci-Fi. I just wish they'd put more. I know that like they don't have
Resident Alien.
Resident Alien. Speaking of, Resident Alien is coming back.
Oh, Reginald the Vampire.
Yeah, Reginald the Vampire was canceled, I think.
No, I love that show.
I enjoyed it too.
Yeah.
But Resident Alien comes back. Excuse me. I forget what day, and I should know. It's next month, I think.
Oh, really?
June 6th.
Because I have been seeing like extended cuts in my DVD-R. I just recorded all of them, and all the episodes are extended cuts. Yeah.
Yeah, that comes back.
And Apple TV is going to eventually have Necromancer, which is probably going to be bad, but I'll watch it.
I did not know they had
your Cyberpunk.
Series. Yeah, that must be new though, right? I mean, that's
that has been developmental hell for like decades.
Okay, I don't know anything about it. But Resident Alien's coming back, and of course, if people don't know, we will be covering it on our Tuesday roundup show. Right now, we're doing our Tuesday show at 10. We have tomorrow we have Doctor Who, and we have Surreal Estate, which obviously is Sci-Fi Channel. But Resident Alien will be coming back. We'll be covering that soon, and also the Revival is coming back too. That we'll be covering. But you guys that are listening, let us know what kind of shows you want to see us cover, that you want to watch parties. I know we're going to do Wednesday. Me and you are going to do Wednesday when it comes back.
Mm-hmm.
And
Nautilus.
We talked about Sandman. What you say? Oh, Nautilus. We were talking about Nautilus.
Yeah, that's another one that's kind of passed around, which thankfully ended up somewhere I could watch it.
Yeah, that came out I think a while ago some places, but
yeah, it's shown throughout the world except for the US.
Yeah, figures. No, I have not watched that yet, but I can tell you I haven't actually watched the new Resident Aliens yet either. But I will say Revival is really good. I'm really enjoying Revival. It starts, I'm not sure when it starts. Let me see when it starts. It is also based on a comic book like Resident Alien. It starts on the 11th, so it's coming out too pretty soon. So yeah, all that good stuff. And then we're gonna, I don't know, we got to watch Duster, see how we feel about that, and see if we maybe want to.
I like 70s stuff. Your mileage may vary.
Yeah, I don't know that I'm a big 70s person. I mean.
You like car chases? If you like car chases, that's a good game. There's a lot of car chases.
We'll have to see. I heard it was J.J. Abrams, and I thought maybe it was going to be like
the guy who plays Sawyer.
Yeah, Josh Holloway. Yes.
Yeah.
But it's not a mystery, so I don't know whether I like it or not. I definitely want to try it. I just haven't, not like everything else. I haven't had a chance. And then of course,
well, it's a crime show, so they're solving.
No, yeah, I'm not saying I won't like it. I might, and maybe we'll want to cover it. We just need to make sure there's enough hours in the day. That's the thing, and it kind of depends what show we do. I know you guys are saying you like longer live streams. Problem is, when you do a longer one with a lot of details in the show, it takes hours to get notes together and everything. It's a lot of work with doing all these. That's why at least this show wasn't too bad. And Dead City, like, we're not going super deep into it. But as long as it doesn't take hours and hours of extra work that I don't have time for, I'm all for doing other shows. I really enjoy doing these live streams if we can get the tech to work. Because unfortunately, well, not unfortunately, I mean, it's good they have shows too. But like I said, our sister network, sometimes they're using the channel and then we can't. So unless we get it to work, on YouTube outside of that, it's hard without having StreamYard, and I cannot pay that much money a month to have my own account. It's really expensive. They've doubled the price. So we do appreciate that they let us use theirs and everything, because it's a nice thing. But there's ways to do it without it, but it's difficult. That's why they cost money. Free stuff is not always better. It's just free.
Yeah.
but yeah, everybody let us know what kind of things you want to see. And also let me know too about the graphics. Like I went ahead and put it in that Raven on the TV. I've been wanting to redo the logo for Sci-Fi Vision because the image that I have is so old and so low resolution.
Yeah.
I think people have known, I've said before, it was from like a piece of artwork I had that was from a photo of somebody from a long, long time ago. I just kept reusing it because it was my Twitter thing. So I've been trying to kind of design some things, and I came up with the Raven on the TV with the eye. And
yeah, I like it.
Kind of, thanks. Yeah, I mean, it'll probably be red. I made it purple to match the thing, but
I don't know. I like it purple.
I
know you're with the red.
No, I know. It's because we've always done red. It depends. Once I get this, the plan is to redesign the whole site, and then use that picture I usually have with the people praying around the TV. That will be the like official thing at the top of the site, but that takes time to update templates and everything else. But that's the plan, to make it all pretty. But right now, just trying to keep up with getting everything done and posted and everything else, and don't have enough free time, but I will get there eventually.
Yeah, me too.
Well, I don't know. Is there anything else we want to, I'm trying to think I don't think there's anything else about this show that I really have to say. Not that we can't talk about another show, but I'm trying to think what to actually talk about. Like I said, we'll be next week doing Librarians. That starts on the 25th.
The 2 episodes. Are we going to have a watch party for that?
I assume so. If it's 2 episodes, though, I don't know what night's it on. I'm not sure what night it's actually on. I just know our stream is on Thursday.
Sunday and Monday when it starts. Like it starts on one day, then continues on another.
Oh, that's right.
Because it's like some kind of Sunday event after. I think it's after a sporting event of some kind. I don't know sports, so I think that's how they're trying to connect it.
Yeah, it starts on Sunday the 25th.
TBS, I'm gonna say TBS.
No, TNT, but it might be TBS as well. It's listed as TNT. Yeah, it starts Sunday at 11:30. So, my guess is we might do watch party for the first one. If it's after Last of Us, we could do it. For people to see it, but yeah, that's why people need to let us, know what you want. But our first thing, like I said, tomorrow at 10 is our roundup show, and then Thursday at 8 we have our Last of Us show, followed by our Yellowjackets at 11. So and then of course we have our our Last of Us watch party, which Last of Us is almost done, but it's on Mondays after the first week. So I don't know if we'll have time to do watch parties on Mondays. We'll have to figure something out, because if we're doing this stream and I have Dead City stream, there may not be enough hours in the day. We might have to pick another day to do the watch party. I don't know.
So did you like the Last of Us flashback episode?
Join Discord to find out when we do stuff. Yes, I did. I liked it very much. I think it was
I heard
nice.
some people didn't like it, but from what I'm hearing, it was pretty good.
Yeah, I mean, I would definitely say it's my favorite this season. I think it may be my favorite of all of them. I really liked it a lot.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it was nice to see them together again. Their, I guess you'd say friendship, whatever you want to say, their father-daughter type relationship. Bond. Yeah, their bond is kind of my favorite part of the show. That I don't like it's not in it now. I still like the show, but it was missing, and it was nice to see it again, if only for an episode. But yeah, I mean, I don't know that they're going to have any more flashbacks. It would be nice, but there's 1 episode left this season, so I doubt there's going to be more.
Oh, it only has 7?
Yeah.
Wow, that's short.
They are splitting the second, for anybody who doesn't know, they're splitting the second game into 3 seasons.
3 seasons? Wow.
Yes, only the next season has been confirmed. So there's I though would be very surprised if HBO didn't pick up the last season, but they're splitting it into 3 seasons. Why they didn't do like 2 seasons of 10 and 11 episodes or whatever, but 3 of less is beyond me. But it takes a while to make, and it's expensive. But yeah, 7 episodes is not enough for a season. That's the one thing. Like, I love British TV, I really do, but they have such short seasons, and now our seasons are like their seasons. And
I thought that was the model that they were copying. The US was copying was all the 6 episode seasons of most of the British shows that I watch.
Yeah, they're way too short. Yeah, I don't know why I was suddenly thinking of Sherlock. I guess just because I was thinking of British shows. I'm like, I haven't seen that for a while. I need to rewatch. I love Sherlock. That's something I do love. Is Sherlock. But yeah, everybody, let us know what you want to see, what you want to talk about, what you want to do in watch parties. We will eventually have the Awake watch party that I've been promising because, like, I did buy it to watch it, and then we never watched more than an episode. We will do that. It's still there to watch. Same thing with I want to do Falling Water. I'd love to have. I've said before, I'd love to have an OA watch party. I want to rewatch it. You know, I would love to do a live stream on the OA, but I don't know if people would watch.
Oh, I love the OA
because it's already been out. But that's like that show is awesome and has so much to talk about.
I don't know. They had a graphic novel for the supposed third season that didn't get picked up. I think they were doing a graphic novel, or they did one, or they're going to do one.
I didn't know that, but if they are, I'm definitely going to buy it.
Oh yeah, I would too.
I know they were
kind of like the way Buffy the Vampire Slayer did them. Like,
yeah, I know before they were trying to, but I didn't know if they had ever gotten it off the ground. But I do know that the cast wants to do it. It's just Netflix and everything, and it hasn't. But I mean, they might. Who knows? Maybe someday they'll bring it back. They still get asked about it. I'm glad, Muncher, that you like our commentary in the background. I always feel like I'm rambling, and that's the other thing too. Like I've been contemplating, because I do enjoy doing these live streams, and I think they're kind of addicting. I understand you do so many. I keep thinking I'd like to try to do one on my own and see how it goes. I just feel like when I don't have somebody to talk to, I feel like I'm rambling. And I don't have like enough of a structure. But I've definitely thought about just like on the fly kind of having a show, and I don't know. I thought about it because I was thinking of doing something for Doctor Who, but I didn't know if people would even watch it. But I like to gab. Normally people don't listen to me talk about my fandom shit.
Well, you should. If you want to talk, you should. We should do it.
Yeah, I should. I just need to get like, you know, an outline or something, so I know what I'm going to talk about. I think my other fear is that if I do the live stream, like nobody will come, and then I'll be like, I don't know what to say. Like there has to be people in there, you know, in the chat tell me what to talk about, and I'd be totally down with that. But yeah, I like a lot of different shows. I'm a TV person, clearly, because I do all this stuff. Just like I know some things I forget, like it feels like, have they really been that long? It makes you feel so old, because I know when I talked to Alexander Skarsgård, I'm like, I love True Blood when it was on. I said that to him before I hung up. I'm like, I always loved True Blood too. That was so long ago. God, I didn't know it was so long ago. It's been way too long. But
I just rewatched it because I found a bunch of they have library sales, and I found a bunch of sets for 50 cents a piece.
Oh wow, that's cool.
Oh yeah.
I have True Blood Blu-rays somewhere. I don't know.
Yeah, there was a mix of DVDs and Blu-rays, so I got a like 3 of the sets in DVD and the rest in Blu-ray.
Yeah, I think I just remember it was Blu-ray, and I remember getting, the reason why I remember getting it, I know I have it somewhere, is I remember because it came with a free T-shirt. I have like I don't even know where it's at.
Yeah.
But it was like a red T-shirt. It said something about blood on it. I don't remember.
Yeah, I have the advertisements in them for that, but then, you know, the shirt is obviously expired and you cannot get it anymore, but I still look at the ad.
Yeah, I don't.
Or the True Blood, the drink, the actual True Blood drink.
No, I have that. I know exactly where it's at too. It's in, okay, it's embarrassing. At least I think it's still in there, unless it was moved. I have, I'd have to look and see. I said that, but now I'm thinking, was it still in there, or did I put it somewhere? I'm pretty sure it's in the bottom of I have a display cabinet that has all my pops and a lot of, because I have a lot of Funko Pops.
You didn't try to drink it and see what it tastes like?
No. I think I bought, if I remember rightly, I think I bought 2, and I tasted one of them, and it tasted like shit.
Oh yeah, what does it taste like?
I remember it, but I kept one because it was like kind of prop-like. So I kept one sealed, and it's, at least I'm pretty sure it's a sealed one. I don't think I emptied it. I'm pretty sure, I'd have to look, but I'm pretty sure it's sealed. But yeah, I have that because I have.
Does this taste metallic?
It was blood orange. I just didn't like. I think I just.
Oh,
didn't
I like blood orange.
I'm not a huge fan of orange pop though either, to be honest. But yeah, I have that. I'm pretty sure it's still, I should go look. I'm pretty sure it's in the bottom of my cabinet. It's behind some of the stuff because I'm running out of room for things. I have too many Funko Pops. Like, I know some people keep them in boxes. Mine aren't in boxes. I couldn't keep them in boxes. I ran out of room a long time before and had to start taking them out of the box.
I have like one all mine. I have like one all my Funko Pops.
Oh, that's cool.
I've won. I won one Yellowjackets one that was Misty, and then I won a Walking Dead one, but the people didn't have it, so they substituted another Shauna Yellowjackets.
Oh, that's cool. Yeah,
and then I bought a Lottie because you gotta have Lottie. You know.
That's cool. No, I don't have Yellowjackets, but to be fair, I just started watching Yellowjackets, so whenever they came out, they were probably a while.
They're all cool because they're all Doomcoming ones.
Aren't they? They're probably expensive though now because they're not. You know what I mean? Because you got to get them like on eBay or something to get them. Yeah, I don't know. I have
a little Lottie keychain too. Like somebody opened up the mystery ones and had a little Lottie keychain, so now I have it on my bag.
Cool. That's cool. No, most of my Pops are. I have a couple random ones, but most of them are Doctor Who and Harry Potter.
Yeah, I have a Nosferatu, and then I have the Funko Universal Monsters game that comes with the Creature and Dracula and the Mummy and Bride Frankenstein.
I do not have that. I do have because I was thinking when we were talking about different shows, I have all the Orphan Black ones. That is also a very good show. That like would be fun.
Well, the one woman in this cast, the one woman that's in the cast is in Orphan Black Echoes. Did you watch that one?
Wait, who's in Orphan? Say that again.
The actress playing Arata.
Oh yeah, I know. I didn't know what you. I was trying to understand what you meant. That's from Murderbot. Yeah, she was in there.
Yeah.
Yeah, I did know that actually. I thought you were saying there was somebody I was thinking about the other day that was in something else I was watching. I'm like, they were in Orphan Black. Yeah, Orphan Black was. Yeah. I got to interview Tatiana once. It was for the book series. That was like one of my interviews that I was so excited to do because I was such a huge fan. Because I mean, don't get me wrong, I love talking to actors. Period. I really enjoy. I've said before, I enjoy hearing all behind the scenes stuff and everything.
Yeah,
but it's nice when you get to talk to somebody you're like a huge fan of, and I was really excited to do that one. That was a fun one. So yeah, but that's a show I like. I just don't know if, like I said, if you did a live stream on like old shows, I think you'd get like a very small, like you'd get like a certain group of people that would be excited to watch it because they were fans. But I don't know that you'd get enough that it would be worth taking so much time to do it. Have you all seen the new Mufasa movie? What do you think about the lore building? You know whose backstory? Mufasa, like Lion King? No, I have not seen it. If that's what you're talking about, no. Which I'm assuming it's what you're talking about. No, I have not. Orphan Black Echoes audio season was great. It wasn't Echoes though, or you're just saying Echoes, right? Because as far as I know, unless there was another series I missed, it was Orphan Black next chapter. I think it was called. Yeah, that's what
Black Echoes.
Yeah, the new series was called was called Echoes, but the audio.
Oh, the audio? There's an audio one?
Yeah. It was called, I think it was called The Next Chapter. I actually, and this is why I need to get my search working on the site, but you can always, if you want to find something, of course, type, SciFi Vision in Google and add whatever you're looking for. It was The Next Chapter. I was making sure there was nothing else I missed. I actually recapped and reviewed all those when it was out, which I think is why they gave me the interview, because I don't know how many people covered it, but I had been writing on it because I really loved Orphan Black. I liked that series. I liked Echoes too. I know Karen and AJ didn't like Echoes as much as I did.
Yeah, I can see why people don't like it, but I liked it.
Yeah, I liked it too. I thought it was good. It was interesting. I was sad that they canceled it.
I didn't know.
Yeah, no, it's not coming back. It was just
God, it ended. It didn't end. Is that what the audio?
It definitely was continued. Yeah, it definitely has a cliffhanger.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was a good show. Yeah, that's why there's some shows that like you remember and that stick with you for a long time, and then like anymore it seems like there's not tons of those shows. You know what I mean? Like they're not. I don't know. I want to see another great show that comes out. And yes, I know you love Yellowjackets, and I think I feel like.
I think it's kind of getting spoiled because there was From, then Severance, and Yellowjackets.
And then we feel like
those are always really, really strong.
Yeah, and I was going to say, I feel like Severance is going to stick with me like that. It's going to be one of those I look back 10 years from now and I want to watch again. Severance and most definitely From. But yeah, there needs to be like another like iconic series that needs to come out. We need good world building, good sci-fi stuff. But yeah, we have done rewatch shows on our Fandom Access podcast, because we did Lost when it was originally out, part of it, because that's actually Karen and AJ and I, when we started doing our podcast, was during Lost. We did the kind of, I think it was like the last season or the last 2 seasons maybe of Lost. That was when we started, and we did a rewatch of Lost later on. We did the whole thing, and we did like I can't remember if when we did Fringe it was the original time or we were doing a rewatch, or we did both. I can't remember. Fringe is also one of those ones that's excellent sci-fi. And we did a X-File rewatch at one point too. So yeah, we did quite a few of them. Let's see. Not rambling. I'm glad it doesn't sound like rambling, Muncher.
He might be going through Julie B deep dives withdrawals.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know.
She was supposed to be doing Last of Us tonight and she canceled. So they're like, "Where's my 6 hours?"
Yeah. Can't go to 6 hours. I still have 5 more episodes of Librarians next chapter that I need to watch yet tonight before my interview tomorrow. Speaking of, I don't know, I assume people know this, but for those of you who are going to follow our Librarian show starting next week, this is a spin-off of the original. There was Librarians movies, and then there was the Librarians series. Not that you have to watch either of those, but I mean, I think if you watch the original series, it would be like helpful to kind of know what's going on a little bit.
It'd be kind of cool to have a watch party where we watched a couple of the movies, then a little bit of the first season, just to get to know some of the characters, because I like Bob Newhart and Jane Curtin in there.
Wait, Bob Newhart? What?
Bob Newhart was in the Librarians.
Oh yeah, that's right. He was in the movies.
He was Judson. Judson.
You were right. That was a long time ago. Yeah. That was.
I mean, just to get used to that world, like the people that were there before, and then,
I was trying. Hold on, I'm looking something up. I'm like thinking, before I say things, I need to make sure about embargoes before I'm like, oh, where did I? I'm pretty sure the review embargoes are up though. I just want to make sure and see. No, the review embargoes tomorrow morning, so I can't really say anything about it other than I liked it and we're going to be covering it next week. That's the extent of what I can say about the new series. I don't want to get in trouble, but yeah, I would say that the watching the first series would be a good idea. But I like the original series a lot. It reminds me a lot. I was thinking about when I was watching it, like it kind of reminds me sometimes of Warehouse 13.
Yeah, it has that vibe.
Yeah, but also like they're getting, the artifacts, they're, taking care of that kind of thing.
I just watched the episode where Bruce Campbell played Santa, and they had different aspects, like he turned into Odin.
Yeah, that was. I don't remember a lot of that. I really got to go back and watch the original. But yeah, it would be fun.
That's another thing that's loading up on my DVD-R, like Resident Alien Extended. They also have all the Librarians coming in.
That's cool. Wait, they have extended for Librarians or just for?
No, just the regular ones that I haven't seen, because I like to be able to fast forward through commercials, and if I watch them on Tubi or Freevee or whatever, they're going to have commercials. No,
I get that. But yeah, we could totally do a watch party. I just don't think we're going to be able to get through like a whole series, you know what I mean? That quickly.
Well, we can do highlights, just a few from each season.
We can maybe pick out some good episodes, or maybe like watch the last season or something. If we have time, that would be cool. We'll
definitely watch a Christmas episode of Bruce Campbell.
Yeah,
definitely.
Bruce Campbell's always awesome. Speaking of Bruce Campbell, you reminded me when you said that. I think it was him that posted it. They're supposedly maybe doing and don't quote me on that in case I'm wrong and it wasn't him that posted it, but I think it was him that reposted it or something. They're supposed to be doing a burn notice something.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I don't know if it was a remake or know. I had heard something about it, seen it on X. I don't even remember what it was now. I just remember seeing it and being like, oh, that'd be great. But new cast, I don't know. I don't know if it'd be good with a new cast. Yeah, maybe. That was one of the first shows I think I covered. I remember doing conference calls for that back in the day. That
the USA Network.
Yeah, the USA Network. Yeah. What else? The problem is, like, okay, I like all kinds of shows. I don't only cover sci-fi. I don't only watch sci-fi. But they need to, like, make more good science fiction shows. Like, I like sci-fi is generally my favorite, sci-fi and fantasy, and they need to make more good sci-fi.
Did you ever see Raised by Wolves?
Yes, I did. I actually liked that. A lot of people didn't. I enjoyed it.
I really liked that.
I mean, it was a slow show. It wasn't like something that it took a while to get into, but I did enjoy it.
Yeah. I also had to write down Hysteria because I had to finish watching Hysteria or Bruce Campbell in it. Forget about that.
Was good. Speaking of, I watched that, and I have the interview coming up I got a post yet for that Black Snow. I just remembered because you said about Raised by Wolves and the what's his face, isn't it? See, that's my memory. I'm an old person now. I can't remember names of shows, names of actors.
You don't seem that old.
Travis Fimmel. I couldn't remember his name. Travis Fimmel. He was in that. That was good. I enjoyed it. I mean, it's not like it's a mystery. It's like a murder, crime show, but it was good. I enjoyed it. Yes, it was a travesty. It was canceled. I don't know. That's why I was so hoping when I saw that J.J. Abrams was doing Duster. I was so hoping that it would be.
It was sci-fi
or some kind of mystery box show. I was sad when I found out it wasn't. I'm like, oh man.
You don't like the 70s?
I don't know if I like it or not. I might love it. I have no clue. Yeah. I'm just saying I wish it was mystery box. I don't think it is.
It definitely has that 70s car chasing vibe. Like the whole opening sequence is just these little cars chasing after each other.
That's funny. Yeah, I don't know. I honestly don't know whether I like it or not. I mean, look, Abrams is awesome. Josh Holloway's awesome, so I might. I would say reading what it's about, it does not seem like my genre, but that doesn't mean I won't like it. I am going to watch it and see. But I haven't really watched much 70s stuff, or I wouldn't say there's necessarily 70s things I've liked necessarily, at least not that I can think of off the top of my head. I mean, I know you're younger than I am, but I wasn't even around in the 70s. So I tend to not watch stuff older than me. And I say that.
Yeah, it was interesting because Yellowjackets was going to originally be 70s, 90s. Like the teens were going to be the 70s, and then the current timeline was going to be 90s, which I think would just be a lot of money. Maybe that was a budgetary thing.
Yeah.
But it'd be cool to see that, like in the 70s, because when I think of when they show like the scene with Cat Stevens playing, I think that's probably like a 70s. Thing that they kept.
I think though it's better. Like I like that it's in the 90s though, because like I remember, and I don't know when you were born. Maybe you might remember the 90s. I'm not sure how young you are. You're younger than me. But
and lady never tells anybody her age.
No, but I do. I don't care.
I'm timeless.
But
I was born in the 1880s.
The music of the 90s. So I remember a lot of that. So, But yeah, I don't know. I wish there was like something else. I don't know, sci-fi. But that doesn't mean, like I said, that doesn't mean it won't be good. It might be really, really good. I am going to watch it and find out when I get time. But yeah, you guys too. Also give us suggestions of other things. And like I said, let us know if you want to see like old stuff covered. Even if we maybe did like like special one-offs, like how we're doing the one-offs for Yellowjackets, like. We could even do like the one-offs on a series, you know what I mean? Like do like one episode covering in general, like do like an episode about the OA. I mean, granted, it could go on for hours, but I just mean like that would be, rather than doing like, 20 live streams or whatever, it may be worth it to do one. But yeah, no. Right now, my show that I like the most that's on TV, the two shows that are my big ones are Doctor Who, which is always going to be, Doctor Who, and The Last of Us are the big ones that I like a lot. And I eventually will get back to the game. We'll try to finish it. I know.
Oh, you're stuck in the gymnasium.
Huh?
You're stuck in the gymnasium?
Yes, I'm still stuck in the. I haven't played it since then. I haven't had time. But Fletcher had sent me a link for the to watch all the cutscenes of the second game. I want to do that. I probably am more likely to have time to sit down and do that than to sit down and play the game. I do play games though. I just, like I said before, I'm not great at them. I like adventure games, but I tend to not be great at the fighting.
I've been playing Blueprints.
I saw an advertisement for that. I was gonna download it, and I was more just flipping through stuff. But I think the most recent game I think I've played is I've been playing Split Fiction with a friend, and because you have to play that 2 people, and I've been playing Life is Strange. What's it called? Freeze frame? Not freeze frame. Something like that. It's about. I can't think of what the new one's called. Again, my old person brain isn't working overtime, as my grandma would say. But that's a pretty good. But those are like you don't really have to do a whole lot, so it's not.
Oh, I find Blueprints really like just calming. It's all just calming, walking through a house. It reminds me of like Myst. Like Myst.
I always loved Myst, but I was the kind of person that looked up how to do half a Myst because it would drive me insane. I'm not somebody who can like take forever to get past a part. I get too mad and like I need to look up the answer because otherwise I'll never finish the game. So I did look up some of the Myst stuff. There's a newer game that's by the people of Myst I've been wanting to get. I haven't. I played Riven, but I never got this new one. But yeah, I don't know. I like PS5. I just don't have enough time to play it. But yeah. So I kind of hip hop. I play little bits of games. Like I play a lot. I've played a lot of Hogwarts Legacy, but that's because I like Harry Potter. But not that I like J.K. Rowling. I don't like J.K. Rowling. That's a whole other issue. But I do still like Harry Potter. I played that. What else have I? Yeah, I don't know. I just haven't had time to play much PlayStation. I don't have time to
play like Stardew Valley and Blueprints.
Yeah, well, no, that's why I said I just haven't. Like, I'll play it like at holidays, like when I get a break and like I'll like play a whole bunch of it and spend hours and hours playing it. But I tend to not have time, and like I get the stuff and don't play it. Like I'd love to. If I have to finish my other games first. Like I want to go back and play Tomb Raider. I got to the very end of it on from when I had gotten it on Xbox, and then I got a PlayStation, and I got it like real cheap, and I started over because I'm like I want to play it on the PlayStation, and it's like one of my favorite games, and I was willing to start over, and then I never finished it the second time, but I had almost beat it, so I need to get back to that. What else? I don't know. Sorry, I'm just like grasping at straws, trying to think of things to talk about. I got to get going pretty soon, but I figured I can stay till 2.
Well,
I can stay till 2, and then I really got to go, or I'm going to be up all. I'm probably going to be up all night anyway.
I like that on pearl clutching. That's sweet.
Yeah.
Pearl clutching. Oh, my pearls.
I want to talk about the OA just because there's so much. And a Golden Child saying like sealed OA. I think it'd be fun to do the OA, to do a live stream just because there is so much freaking stuff in there to talk about. I mean, there's a lot, and I've never gotten to really. I mean, like I talked to people that were like fans about it on some of the groups, but I never really delved into it enough to. And
I like to watch all the films that what's her name has been in too, like Sound of My Voice.
Yeah.
Another Earth. The East.
I got them and I hadn't actually seen them. I like downloaded it or wherever the one.
I like to see Murders at the End of the World. I haven't seen that.
Good. I like that. That's
okay,
a good show.
That's when I watch them.
It's not. Unfortunately, it's not as like OA as OA is. It's not as deep into stuff. Good. Did you watch You? No, I did not watch You. I know somebody who's a big fan of You, but I have not seen it. I have not.
I've watched bits and pieces of You.
It's supposed to be good, but I just haven't. I haven't watched it. No. I'm just looking forward to the. I mean, I don't want it to be the season finale, but I'm looking forward to the end of Doctor Who to seeing what happens. This season's been crazy. I've been enjoying it. I know not everybody has, but I have been. Yeah, Doctor Who's one of my favorite shows. I just hate that it takes so long in between seasons. I mean, you think From's long to wait. I think they said the next Doctor Who is until 2027 now. At least it's coming back. But I mean, to be fair, it's always a long time between seasons. But yeah, I love that show. It's crazy right now, but I still like it. It's fun. But yeah, make sure, guys, that you come back. Speaking of that, make sure you come back tomorrow at 10 for if you want to hear about Doctor Who and Surreal Estate. I don't know if we're going to talk about anything else or not. Andor's done. I know they were discussing Andor, but it's over now. Yeah. I know the new Star Trek is starting that soon. I'm sure I don't know that I will be. Karen and AJ will definitely be doing the new Star Trek that's coming out. It's fun. It's funny. I laugh because I think it's funny. Like, I love sci-fi, but I am not a big Star Wars or Star Trek person, which is hilarious to me because that's like the main fandoms. I just never was. I mean, Star Wars was before my time. Not that that necessarily matters, but I think I was either not born or like a little kid. I'm not sure what year it came out. I was like really little if I was out.
Like 1978-ish.
Okay, then I was not born yet. Yeah. But I don't know. I like high spec. I mean, not that that's all there is to it, but like I like, flashy special effects and everything. And I know Star Wars for its time was like really good special effects, but
space opera.
I liked Star Wars. I wouldn't say like I loved it and it was the best movie ever. It was good. But I've watched the whole series once and that was it. And I've seen some of them, maybe bits of them more than once. Because Karen and AJ, I'll tell you, I just watched them. I guess now it's probably been like a decade. But on our show, like they wanted me to watch it. We're talking about it, and I finally watched them. So I've seen them, but I don't know like deep mythology or anything on them because I haven't watched. Like I want to watch The Mandalorian because of Pedro, but I haven't. Again, I just haven't.
I want to watch The Mandalorian because of Wiener Herzog.
Because of what?
Wiener Herzog? He was the one that told him to get the puppet to like do a realistic Yoda baby puppet.
Oh, that baby Yoda. I know it's not actually baby Yoda, but it's cute. The child.
I can't remember its name.
I don't know. I just heard it called the child, but I don't know.
Garu or something like that. Garu?
Oh, Grogu. Yeah.
Yeah, there's just so much. There's just so much Star Wars now. There's just so much.
The thing is I'm not like usually necessarily a huge space opera, to be honest. Yeah. Like I liked Battlestar Galactica. I did. But again, it wasn't necessarily like the absolute best. But I did enjoy the newer one. I never saw all the original. But like I
like Caprica.
Caprica was okay too, yeah. And like I absolutely loved Stargate, but like when they had the episodes that they were like in space the whole time, I didn't like as much, which is funny. But like something like Dark Matter, now this is not the Apple Dark Matter, this is the Sci-Fi Dark Matter. That's a space opera that was really, really good, that I really enjoyed, but it wasn't on very long, unfortunately.
You see The Expanse?
I did not. I watched part of it. I watched the beginning of it to do interviews, and then I never watched the end. I am not a big like political, like I liked Paradise because it had mystery in it too, but generally like a political thriller type, that's just usually not the kind of thing I enjoy. I tend not as much. It's too bogged down. So yeah, I watched the beginning of it and never finished it. I know it's supposed to be really good. I know Karen and AJ absolutely loved it. They covered it when I would not stay when they covered it, but I didn't watch it. Okay, sorry, that was somebody messaging me. But yeah, well, it's about 2 a.m. I think I need to go. I think we've been on for a long time.
Yeah,
but
I just
thank you. Yeah, but thank you everybody for listening to us go on and on. When's your next show? If you want to promote your show.
I thought it was tomorrow because Julie said she was going to do her thing tomorrow, but now it's on Thursday. So I don't know if I'm doing that because I'm doing the Yellowjackets thing. So I'll say Wednesday.
Maybe
some kind of meet together and chat around 10 p.m. EST on Julie B Deep Dives. Well, I don't know if we're getting back into the rewatch or we'll just talk to some from-related stuff. Maybe Doug Hughes will be there. Maybe it won't be. I don't know.
Well, that'll be cool. Well, in the meantime, like I said, tomorrow, 10 p.m. Eastern on Sci-Fi Vision, we have our roundup show. Thursday at 8 p.m., we have Last of Us, followed by our show, at 11 for Yellowjackets. And then Monday starting again with Dead City and Murderbots. And then starting next week, we'll also have, instead of Yellowjackets, we'll be having the Librarians on Thursdays. So,
I thought it was from Academy on Fridays and Julie B. Deep Dives with Doug Caju.
Cool. Yeah. So
maybe we'll finish out the Residents. I don't know, because I have all this like steampunk cons coming up, so I'm going to not be at some of these Fridays.
Oh, yeah. I know.
It's been really hard for me because I'm like, I don't understand why people want to make steampunk cons before the school year ends, because it's very hard for me.
Yeah.
Too much to do. I'm like, I was so tired today. I almost fell over, I just went comatose.
Conventions are fun. I mean, I've never been to a steampunk convention, but I like conventions.
Well, I do lectures and workshops, so they're kind of like money makers for me, but I kind of like them a little bit more spread out than everything in like 6 weeks, and then nothing until fall.
Yeah, it stinks when they have everything at once. But I haven't been to a convention for a while because I had I'm trying to think, when I went, I think that was before I got hurt, because I had hurt my leg really bad and was in that air cast thingy for so long, the boot, for like half a year, and couldn't really go anywhere because of that. But yeah, I wouldn't mind going to.
Well, they have Dr. Who convention.
Something. Sorry?
They have a Doctor Who convention, like in Southern California.
Yeah, I was gonna say, but not around here. Nothing's.
Oh, I went to so many when I lived in San Diego. I went to so many conventions.
Yeah, I would love to.
A lot of them I volunteered at. I volunteered at the Doctor Who one, and I learned all about the companions and stuff. I learned so much about it, and I hadn't really seen much of it.
That's cool. No, I'd love to go, but they're usually too far. I can go to things in Pittsburgh, and that's usually the extent, as I don't have money to fly around. I mean, I have at times gone to further ones, but it's expensive to fly to the different things. And yeah, I think the last thing I went to, I think was in Pittsburgh. I'm pretty sure. I was trying to think. I think it was in Pittsburgh, but it was before I got hurt, because I couldn't go anywhere for a while and stand long enough to do anything.
Like, how far away are you from New York City?
8 hours.
Too far?
Driving.
8 hours? No, that's
Chicago.
That's a lot.
Yeah, Pittsburgh, I can at least go and like come back the same day if I have to.
Yeah.
Like if I don't want to pay for a hotel. I mean, I probably.
That was a good thing about San Diego too. I lived 5 minutes away from like
that was cool.
the Comic-Con and all that.
Yeah, that's cool. But no, New York. I live like 8 hours driving away from New York City, so that's really far. I went to Fan Expo in Toronto with Karen. That wasn't too bad of a drive. I'm just thinking of it because we drove through New York. That was fun, but a couple years. Well, I guess now it's been more than a couple years, but that's still fairly far. I forget how many hours it took us to drive. But yeah, I think the last thing I was at was Pittsburgh. I went to see Tom Ellis from Lucifer. I had wanted to meet him, and so I went. They're so expensive now anymore to go. If you're going to go, you kind of got to go, and you can't really get photos and autographs and all that. It's too much money. You got to go and just watch the panels and.
Or you have to be put in a drawing to get tickets at San Diego Comic-Con anymore.
Yeah, no, it's not like that. I don't know. I know one time that when we went to Fan Expo, I always tell this story because I will forever regret it. So I can't help it. I will always tell this story. I spent so much damn money that year because I know my grandma gave me some money too that year for my birthday or something. I forget. When I went with Karen to Fan Expo, and I bought like a whole bunch. I was really into Walking Dead at the time, and I got like a bunch of photos from Walking Dead people. And I had money for one more photo, and I forget what his name was. He's from Star Trek movies. I can't think of what his name was, but he was going to be in that. Oh hell! Now I'm not going to remember the name of it. Minority Report series. He was from. Anyway, he was there, and I had seen the Minority Report screener, and I knew we were going to cover it. So I'm like, I'm going to go meet him and talk to him. And I used my last money to go see that. And then Matt Smith was there, but at the time I wasn't a huge Doctor Who fan, I chose that instead. And now I'm like, I could have met Matt Smith, and I went and met him. Not that the guy wasn't great, and I mean the actor was fine, but like I could have met Matt Smith, and they weren't, don't come here a lot because they're, not from America, so they're not here as often. But yeah. I could have went and saw Matt Smith, and
that's why I chose Boris Karloff's daughter over Patrick Warburton at a con to see.
Yeah, you never
I
know.
figured Patrick Warburton would be around for a while. I didn't know how long Boris Karloff's daughter was going to be doing lectures.
Yeah, you can go to one and then regret it. But yeah, those things get too expensive though. I spent way too much money that week. I would not do that again.
Even the smaller ones are. I remember just spending like $20 to get in the door, and now they're like $60 just for the really small ones.
Yeah, that's how the little Pittsburgh ones used to be. I remember like they used to be free autographs at the things. Like you'd go. And
yeah.
Like no, I mean like years and like decades ago, long time ago, or maybe they were like $10 for an autograph or something. They're not like that now. You gotta have a lot of money or you can't really do much. Way too much money. All right, guys, it's 2 a.m. If you've stuck with us rambling, appreciate it. Glad if you didn't think it was rambling. Like I said, put in Discord what you want to see us do, what you want to see us talk about, what kind of watch parties you want to see, that kind of thing. And we'll try to get some of it done. And until then, I will hopefully see you guys tomorrow. I'll be there tomorrow at 10. I hope the rest of you will be there tomorrow at 10 during the show. And we'll talk then. Make sure you go to the right show, though. There was a mistake that there was some tech issue that I guess 2 episodes got set up by mistake. I have to figure out which is the right one and delete the other one. So if you've previously looked at the link on YouTube and like, I don't know that people bookmark them ahead of time, but if you would, just make sure that it's the right one and it's still going to happen because it might be the wrong one. But that's tomorrow at 10. I'll be posting the link once I put the picture up tomorrow. But for now, I've got to go watch screeners. So it's been fun. But have a good night, everybody, and I'll see you tomorrow. Good night, Scarlet.
Goodbye, everybody.
Bye-bye.
Dream sweet, everyone.